What's up, everybody? I am back. It's Tuesday, doing a second one today, and doing a request. This one's actually from a little while ago. The song is called Burst Into Chaos. The band is Vicious Vision. I believe, if I am correct, they are from Morocco. So, broadening our international horizons even more. I just did some stuff from Afghanistan, although I guess he's living in England, but an artist from Afghanistan. Eventually we're going to have almost every language that there is released music recorded and available. We're going to have all those covered. So, I have no idea. This is a heavy band. I don't know much about it, but I will warn you it's going to be heavy. So just prepare for that. Got my coffee. A couple things before we get started. I'm not a professional. There's a decent chance I'm not going to speak this language. They may sing in English. I don't know that yet, but don't expect me to get too deep into the lyrics or the production. Right? I'm not an engineer. I'm not a professional musician. That's not really my strength. And don't be a dick. You may not like this kind of music. It's okay. This kind of music isn't for everybody. My approach to these videos isn't for everybody. You don't have to like the way I do this either. But I would ask that we try to keep it respectful. I try to be really thoughtful when I do these, and I would appreciate a little bit of that in the comments as well. But with that out of the way, let's get right into it. This is Burst Into Chaos by Vicious Vision.
To the side.
All right. So let me think. I'm trying to think of a group that this reminds me of. And truthfully, see, I think this is based on like an era of rock music that I don't really listen to. Because I want to say this is like inspired by bands like Megadeth, but I don't know if that's true because I never listened to Megadeth. It just sounds like metal that was inspired by like 90s metal. I like the double bass. I always like that. Vocals were a little bit difficult to pick up. They did appear to be in English, but a little bit lost in the mix, I think. So it's difficult for me to make heads or tails out of them. I did hear something about chaos during the bridge. I really did like that that instrumental interlude. That was the last 2.5 or so minutes of the song. I would say you could probably tighten that up. It probably doesn't need to be like this. Probably doesn't need to be a 5-minute song. This could probably be a 3.5 to 4 minute song and be just as effective. Because I do think that that middle section goes on to the point where you'd want it to be like an 8 or 9 minute song, right? If you're gonna do that and try to let it breathe, you either want it to be a much longer song so that you can really create that atmosphere of that bridge, or tighten it up, make it 16 bars or 32 bars or something, and then get back to the blast beat to finish out the song. That's just an opinion. Obviously, these guys are welcome to make it however they want to make it. For me, I feel like it would have been more effective to have a little bit of a tighter bridge and just tighten the song up in general. I just think it could have been a little bit more edited, just tightened down. The instrumentation was fine. I enjoyed the guitar work. The drums were good. Occasionally it did feel like the drums were a tiny bit maybe behind with the beat, which it could be that I was just mishearing it and it wasn't an issue, but it did seem a couple times in the the beat down, right, the double bass just flying through there, it did feel a couple times like it was maybe just slightly off. Which happens, right? It's one of those things that gives you the knowledge that this is made by real people who are really, trying to become musicians and develop their craft, as opposed to something that's perfect and dialed in every single step. So there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But it is something that I think, you might remaster this song in the future, right? After you've got a couple years of playing, doing shows, stuff like that. But I like it. Now, I don't know at all. I believe these guys are Moroccan. It says Morocco in the comments or in the description. I have no idea what the attitude of Morocco, people in Morocco, what their attitude is towards like metal. It may not be a thing. It may not be societally very, confrontational or anything like that. But it also might be, I've done a bunch of hip hop from countries where it is not really an accepted art form. And so I find that kind of stuff interesting, right? Music has always been effective as a rebellion, right? As an act of rejecting the status quo. Either you are preaching in your songs, in your lyrics, you're talking about rebelling against the government, against the status quo, against the way things are, right? Like Bob Dylan. Okay, Bob Dylan, it's not somebody that I listen to. I don't enjoy his voice at all. But he wasn't making like abrasive music. He wasn't making music that itself was challenging. He was making content in the lyrics that was challenging. But sometimes the music itself is an act of rebellion. It's an act of being in your face. And it's a way to fight back against cultural norms. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Morocco. I don't know how this sort of music would be received. I'd be happy to hear from anybody that has any ideas. Please let me know. But I think that'll do it. I may check out more from Vicious Vision. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Stay safe out there. Drink lots of water. And be nice to each other.